All right, everybody, it is Stick and Hack Reacts for Monday, August 2nd, 2021. I'm Adam Grubb from Stick and Hack, and that's Keith Stewart right there from ESPN Radio. The first day of school for some, maybe in your neck of the woods. Keith, it looks like you're still on vacation. School hasn't started for you guys quite yet out there in the East. Good for you. Let's get into the topics at hand of Stick and Hack Reacts. I think there are only two major topics that we need to probably talk about because we could talk about them for 20 minutes. And that is Annika and the Olympics. We'll start with Annika Sörenstam, an 8-shot win at her debut of the U.S. Senior Women's Open. Annika continues to dominate even in an event like this. She was dominant pretty much the entire weekend. Your reaction, Annika, a winner of the U.S. Senior Women's Open?
Well, you say Annika, I say Annika. But you know what? Either way, she won by 8, which is really impressive because she hasn't played a tournament that's mattered this much in 13 years, Adam. I mean, if you take a break for 13 years and come back and win the U.S. Senior Women's Open, her 4th USGA championship, by 8 shots, it's pretty impressive. And she was tested the last day. I mean, Lieselot Neumann, her countrywoman, she eagles the first hole to tie her because she had a 2-shot lead after 54 holes. And then Annika, of course, right on top of her, rolls in a birdie. So they were tied for all of about a minute and a half. But then Annika just steamrolls her from there. She shoots 34 on the front, 34 on the back. She's one of only 2 women that breaks 70 on Sunday, wins by 8. Typical Annika. And what was untypical, though, and what I love the most about this, and why I'm giving it 2 huge thumbs up, is that her family was there. And we're getting to this point where our golf heroes, or the people that you and I grew up on, the Tigers, the Phils, and the Annikas of the world, they were at the height of their supremacy without children, without their families. So her husband Mike was on the bag, and Ava and Will were there. They got to see Mom win. They gave her a pep talk on Saturday night, as if Will Sörenstam is going to tell Annika how to prepare for a Sunday round. I just think all around it was very, very cool. I had the chance to be up there last week. USGA, tremendous job. By all accounts, big smiley face on this one for me, Adam.
There really isn't anything that she has left to accomplish in golf, but yet she's coming back here this year and dominating, yes. But is she carrying anything different? Is she doing anything different? Is she a different player than she was in her day, or is this just Annika being what she's been for so many years and just that dominant player who just gets it done? What's the secret? I mean,
I think the secret for her is mental toughness. Like a Tiger, like a Tom Brady. I think that some people are just hyper driven and they can focus, and when the pressure is on and it's tremendously tough for others, they seem to rise to the occasion, a la Michael Jordan or someone like that. So, I think that it's just Annika being Annika, which is kind of cool. When I was up there on Tuesday, she gave a girls golf clinic, and there was about 80 to 100 young girls around her, and she's hitting shots, and her caddy, who's her husband Mike, is out there catching the shots with a baseball mitt. So she says, go out to 40 yards, and she hits a 40-yard pitch, and he catches it like he's shagging fly balls. And, a funny aside from that story is that he was about 60 yards away, and one young girl yells, "Hit the driver." And she goes, "No, I like my husband." It was pretty funny. But, her ball striking, I stood there on the range, and I looked at the Julie Inksters and, all of the ladies that were there, the Lieselot Neumanns, and the ones that were going to be the contenders. And somebody said to me, they said, "Well, who do you think's going to win?" I was like, geez, after watching the range, it's Annika by 5. And it turned out to be Annika by 8. I mean, she is just 50. She's just getting on to that point in her life where she could play senior tournament golf and just a class above like she's always been. It's pretty cool, though, after 13 years, man. And yeah. One other aside, I want to get your reaction to this, Adam. Joanne Carner, nicknamed Big Mama, right? She's 82 years old. She shoots her age in the first round by double bogeying the last hole. And then she shoots 79 in the second round. All the while, she's cruising around in a golf cart, which she got because she has COPD, and she's smoking cigarettes. What do you think of that?
I said 2 thumbs up. It's the best. It is everything that you want her to be. She is, and she's that lady at the club that is a member till they're 100 and still playing Jen with the boys, and I love it. I think golf needs more of those characters, and I mean, she is a blast from the past. She is old school golf. No doubt about it. But I everything you just said there, I love. And I probably shouldn't. There's like 100 different reasons why you shouldn't love that, but I do. I think it's great.
I think it brings about a certain level of nostalgia, and just that classic look. I mean, to see her like peer down the edge of the cigarette, with the smoke emitting as she like looks down the fairway with the crow's feet coming out of her eyes. I mean, you just wonder. I mean, she's seen it all. She's done it all in golf, but yet she's so true to herself. Be authentic, everybody. I mean, She was fantastic, Adam.
And she would have beat me any day of the week and twice on Sunday. There's no doubt about that.
She beat half the field.
We moved to the Olympics now, and unfortunately, watching Olympic golf is very difficult. And maybe just because it's on in the middle of the night, you do get the notifications of things. You can watch it later on rerun, but by that time, you already know what the hell happened. So it is a little different than watching your weekend golf. However, the Olympic golf was still very, very enjoyable and entertaining to watch. I think it is working. We'll get to more of that in a second. But first, your reaction to Xander Schauffele taking the gold for the U.S.
Obviously, U.S. wins gold. 2 big thumbs up. But what's kind of cool is that everybody was making a big deal about Hideki being the hometown favorite, and he's from Japan and all of this. I mean, in reading about Xander, this is a pretty cool story, Adam. His mom grew up in Japan after being born in Chinese Taipei, and then his grandparents, his maternal grandparents, still live there. So they were there rooting him on. All of that is really cool, but Xander hasn't won in 2.5 years. And he's been, at the top of everybody's DraftKings. I know what an expert you are there in betting and gambling of golf. 0. But, at the end of the day, he's been up there in everyone's major list. He's been a favorite in this event. He's a favorite in that event. But he hasn't won in 2.5 years, and he's never won with a 54-hole lead. So this is important, Adam. He pulled this off, and he even admitted that he got that monkey off his back, that when you do have a 54-hole lead, that Xander Schauffele can get it done. And I think he did it in fine fashion. He did it with the putter. Quite honestly, I think he stroke gained putting top 10 on the PGA Tour, and he showed it. Big bogey putt on 14, big birdie putt on 17, and of course the par saver on 18 to send your favorite golfer, Rory Sabbatini, over to the silver podium.
Well, that's who I want to talk about, and that's my favorite Rory, and I think everyone's favorite Rory is Rory Sabbatini, who I wasn't aware was even in the thing, let alone up towards the leaderboard. Comes in second for silver. Some confusion and chatter in the golf Twitter around what country he was representing. But I think we'll leave that for another day because I really don't care. But more specifically, he played great over the weekend and throughout this entire tournament.
Wait a second. We got to talk about the fact that he was born in South Africa, all right? And he's playing for Slovakia. He I think it's his second wife, and she is from Slovakia. So he thought that he would transfer over because I guess the South African squad for the Olympics is pretty tough with Louis and a couple other guys down there.
I think it worked for Rory. So he might be getting a lot of heat, but the decision seemed to have paid off for him. So enough about Rory Sabbatini. It's not 1997. Let's move to the 7-person playoff for bronze, which 7 people in a playoff sounds like a Sunday club championship in the D flight. But that did happen here in the Olympics. 7 people for bronze. Tell us about it, your reaction to that.
Pretty cool here because the whole purpose of the Olympics and what makes Olympic golf great, whether it's partners, mixed, 72-hole stroke play format, everybody tees it up and they're only paying 3 places and they only get medals. There's no money involved. Yeah. So if you're even close to a medal, you've got to go out guns a-blazing on Sunday, and they did. Colin Morikawa, 63 on Sunday. Rory Sabbatini, 61 on Sunday. These guys had to chase people down, and everybody was shooting in the 60s. It was a firefight. It was awesome. I mean, I stayed up late. It was kind of like the reverse Open Championship. You had to stay up really late instead of waking up early. But you found yourself awake at the same time of day. And then when it was a 7-man playoff, I was like, man, I love a playoff. But I was like, it's 3 a.m. I was like, what am I doing? And it just tremendous, tremendous theater, which in the end of the day, you got to give it 2 huge thumbs up because that sells the game. At the end of the day, what other tournament do we get to watch? You know, it's not like a Ryder Cup. It's not like a President's Cup or a Solheim Cup. 3 places. That's it. 60 guys. And we get the same thing next week, but we can talk about that in a second. That, to me, is unbelievable theater because it's like you're not going for a top 10. You got to get it done. And I thought it was tremendous. And I was really rooting hard for a gold and bronze and Morikawa coming in there. But CT Pan, he played great, shot 63 on the final day, and he pulled it off after 4 playoff holes.
Those are the names that I thought would be at the top of the leaderboard there. Rory Sabatini and CT Pan. There's no chance. I would have bet good money that they would have been 2nd and 3rd. The women are up this week. Tell me your reaction to the women and what's going to happen and kind of your picks.
Hey, the number 1 player in the world is an American. It's Nelly Korda. She's got to be the favorite going in. And, you know, it's a limited field. When you start to look at who is exactly playing, there's a couple things going on there. Half the field, it doesn't play on the LPGA. So, you know, it really comes down to about the top 25 to 30 women that she's competing against. So you've got Lexi Thompson. I mean, the U.S. team is stacked, and that's great because we're heading over there to the Far East where, of course, golf is a tremendous sport that is followed, that has tons of attention and everything. So there's going to be a lot of focus on the South Korean golfers, the Chinese golfers, the Japanese golfers. So the American team, which is star-studded, Nelly Korda, her sister Jessica Korda, Lexi, and of course Danielle Kang. I like one of them definitely to medal, if not Nelly, to take the gold medal home and make it a clean sweep for the USA this year at the Olympics, which will be awesome.
The future of the Olympics. This is the second year now, or the second time we've had the Olympics in over 100 years. 4 years ago, 2016 being the first in over 100 years, and now this year. Are people getting excited about golf in the Olympics? Is it working? What's the future look like for this specific event at the Olympics?
You know, I think it's tough to judge, Adam, because back in 2016, we were fighting the Zika virus. This time, we're fighting another pandemic, and it's really difficult in the travel to get the players in and out because their schedules are so busy. So, you know, golf Twitter overreacts to everything. By Thursday, the format was wrong, the dates were wrong, everything was wrong, and then by 3 a.m. on Sunday morning, everything's great because there's a 7-way playoff for bronze. So, I mean, I think we need to be patient. Hopefully, when they go to Paris, that we won't be fighting a 3rd pandemic or some sort of strange virus. And, you know, all the big names can go over and play, and and then we can really see where it's going to go. But for the time right now, I think you just keep the format the same and you just run right through it. And, you know, you continue. I mean, things take time.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's an important part to what's going on here.
Well, and I think the time difference and all of that stuff will play a part in 4 years and just, or 3 years, I guess, in a different experience for the U.S. to watch and enjoy and to get behind as they have all of the events. But next up is Ryder Cup, and that's what we'll move to next week. We'll probably start talking Ryder Cup previews and some of those storylines here through the month of August, because the Olympics will be over. All the majors are over. Now we move to the Ryder Cup. It has been an incredible year for golf, and I'm very excited to be a part of it with you here on Stick and Hack Reacts. He's Keith Stewart, the ESPN Radio. Check out the Pro Show where you get your podcast, as well as Stick and Hack Reacts here every Monday at noon. Enjoy your day, your week, and if you have kids at school today for the first time, enjoy your day by yourself for the first time in a year and a half. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. We'll see you next week here on Stick and Hack Reacts. Later, Keitho.
Enjoy the grub, man.